outstanding documents that you've promised to bring so that we know what you have for us today.
Sure.
All right.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Madam Chair Lady. Good morning, Lead Counsel. Some of the documents are here, others are being searched. I will start with the circumstances surrounding the bottle crusher.
Okay.
The grants KMC has received from 2018 to 2022. The circumstances surrounding the change of lawyer at KMC. The validation of the HR audit report. The validation of the councillors' loans. I have two pieces. I would leave it to Madam Chair whether to submit or not. One of them is the nominated councillors. I have part documents. The list is here. However, the appointment letters are being searched, and also the advertisement the council made on the newspaper asking those interested to be a nominated councillor to forward their nomination. So if you can allow, I can submit the list, and then while we search for the other documents. The other one I have is the bunch of documents relating to the council's thresholds. We have part, but we are still searching for other relevant documents. If you permit, I can also submit that.
Sure.
Thank you.
With the date 14th of February 2019, the subject General Council resolution signed by Usman Gay and Talib Bensouda. We have also the General Council meeting minutes. The date is 14th of February 2019. We have the list of grants. Is this the entire list of grants from 2018 to 2023, sir?
According to the administration, yes.
All right. It's a two-page document we have. It's numbered 1 to 8. The first is the grant for the project title feasibility study on the closure of backwater dump site. The donor is UNDP, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources. 2, the project towards sustainable waste management in the Greater Banjul metropolitan area. From 2019 to 2021, the pilot test of organic waste in municipal markets. The donor, Barcelona metropolitan area, AMB. 3, solar-powered coal storage. The donor, UK High Commission in the Gambia. UK High Commission in the Gambia. The amount is 10,160 euros. The fourth is sustainable waste management to reduce child rights violations at backwater dump site. The donor is BMZ, SOS Children's Village Worldwide Herman Gemina Fonds, Germany, EV, 768,684 euros. The fifth is the donation received from European Union and also DCI, DCI ENV/GCCA /GM/PE grants 2020 on the building climate resilience through sustainable biodegradable waste management in Kanifing municipality, the Gambia. The amount is $92,262.06 bottles. We have the sixth one, the project on the rehabilitation of Kotu UN at 75 Botanical Park. The donor, UNDP, UNICEF, UNFPA, ITC, UN, that's RCO. The amount, 84,127 euros. The seventh, Kanifing Environmental Transformation Program, the KETP. The donor, European Union. The amount, 3,145. Is it? I see million here. Is it 3.145 million?
Which one is that?
The Kanifing Environmental Transformation Program, the donor, the European Union. Is that correct?
Yeah,
the
3
amount.
million euros.
Okay, 3.1 million euros. And we have number 8, the leveraging open location code to improve the property tax collection, waste and local social contract in KM Phase 1. The donor Fund for Innovation in Development, FID, the amount $30 million. The one for the first one, the feasibility study on the closure of backwater dump site, is 50,000 euros. The second one, which is towards the sustainable waste management in the Greater Banjul metropolitan area, is 52,369 euros. We have a letter from the Kanifing Municipal Council addressed to the Chairman, Finance and Public Accounts Committee, the National Assembly of the Gambia. The subject is findings by the Finance Committee on the procurement of unused hammer mill bottle crusher machine. The date is October 16th, 2023. It is signed by Karamo Sisi, the Chairman, Finance Committee, Kanifing Municipal Council. We also have the General Council meeting on the 31st of July 2018 with respect to the nominated councillors. Please come again. You were explaining something about these councillors that were nominated.
Yes, the councillors that are nominated, we found the list. Now the councillors nominated were advertised, right. The post was advertised. This advertisement is what we are trying to trace.
Okay.
And that's where respondents from the Federation of Disabled and the KMYC responded with their nominees. We are trying to find those letters.
Okay.
And also our letter to the ministry requesting for their nomination and the approval. So we are trying to find that file, that dossier.
Very well. The minutes of this meeting is signed by Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. Mr. Bensouda, I struggle to read your handwritings. I thought I have the worst handwriting. I still think I have the worst handwriting. But the memo from the Clerk of Council to the Acting Chief Executive Officer, and copied is the Lord Mayor. The date is 31st of May 2018. we have a Finance Committee meeting. The date is 13th of June 2018. The General Council meeting of the 28th of June 2018. A letter from Kanifing Municipal Council from Karamo Cisse addressed to the Lord Mayor. The date is 2nd of July 2018. The accounting policy, KMC Accounting Policies and Procedures Manual issued on May 2017. These documents to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
The witness was requested to present documents, and some of the documents that are presented are being admitted as follows. A letter dated the 24th of January 2019 with reference KMC/NB/01 L1/AAB/L/02 addressed to the CEO of Kanifing Municipal Council. It has the subject, referral of council for retainership. It is signed by Talib Bensouda and Co. LP. General Council meeting dated the 14th of February 2019. The meeting number is KMC/GCM/03/2019. The meeting was held at the KMC chambers. And the minutes were signed by Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. A letter dated the 14th of May 2018, it has reference KMC/NB/01/L1/AAB/L/01. It is addressed to the CEO, Kanifing Municipal Council, and it has the subject, termination of retainer agreement with the Kanifing Municipal Council. It is signed by Talib Bensouda and Co. LP. A General Council meeting minutes dated the 11th of February 2019. It has reference KMC/GCM/02/19 held at the KMC chambers. It is signed by Mr. Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. A memo dated the 22nd of March 2019. It is addressed to the Lord Mayor, and the memo emanated from the Chairman, Establishment and Appointment Committee, and it has reference KMC/EAC/03/2019, and it has the subject Establishment Committee Updates. It is signed by Habib MLCC. A memo dated the 14th of February 2019. It is addressed to the Acting Chief Executive Officer. It emanated from the Clerk of Council. It is copied to the Lord Mayor and the Acting Director of Finance, and it has reference GCM/R/02/2019. It has the subject General Council Resolution. And these meeting minutes were signed by Usman Gay and endorsed by Talib Bensouda. General Council meeting dated the 31st of July 2018. The meeting number is KMC/GCM/04/2018. The meeting was held at the KMC chambers, and it is signed by Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. The grants received by KMC covering the period 2018 to 2025. It is endorsed by the Finance Manager, Bakari Diba. A memo dated the 22nd of January 2020. The memo is addressed to the Lord Mayor. It is copied to the Acting CEO. A file copy is maintained, and the memo was from the Chairman, Establishment and Appointment Committee. It has the subject, Establishment and Appointment Committee. It is signed by Habib MLCC. A memo dated the 14th of March 2019. The memo is addressed to the Acting CEO, copied to the Lord Mayor, Acting Director of Finance. The memo is from the Clerk of Council, and it has reference GCM/R/03/2019, and it has subject validation of the HR audit report. The minutes were signed by Usman Gay, and they were endorsed by Talib Bensouda. Mr. Bensouda,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have the report? This is the discussion on the report, correct?
The report of?
On the HR audit.
Yes, I submitted it yesterday, but you said it was a draft.
Yes.
And I should try and get the signed draft.
Yes.
So we are not
the
yet,
final copy, I said.
Yes, we are tracing it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But sorry, this was just to show you that
it was discussed
adopted and it was resolved to be adopted.
Yes, and that was why I presume that there will be a final draft, a final report to that effect. Minutes of the Finance Committee with meeting number KMC/FCM/01/2018. It is dated 13th of June 2018. It was held at the KMC chambers. And these minutes were signed by Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. It is further signed by Karamo Sise, Chairperson, Finance Committee, and dated 19th of June 2018. General Council meeting minutes with reference KMC/GCM/03/2018. The date of the meeting is 28th of June 2018. It was held at the KMC chambers and signed by Usman Gay, Clerk of Council. A letter dated the 2nd of July 2018. It has reference BEZ 96/123/16A. It is addressed to the Lord Mayor, and the subject is update and recommendation from the Finance Committee meeting. It is signed by Karamo Sise, Chairman, Finance Committee. A memo dated the 31st of May 2018. It is from the acting CEO. No, actually it is addressed to the acting CEO, copied to the Lord Mayor, and it emanated from the Clerk of Council. It has reference GCM/01/2018, and the subject is General Council Resolution. These minutes were endorsed by Usman Gay, and they were signed by Usman Gay and endorsed by Talib Bensouda. A letter dated October 16, 2023. It has reference BEZ 96/122/15A, addressed to the Chairman, Finance and Public Accounts Committee, the National Assembly of the Gambia, and the subject is findings by the Finance Committee on the procurement of unused hammer mill bottle crusher machine. It is signed by Karamo Sise, Chairman, Finance Committee. And the final document is the Kanifing Municipal Council Accounting Policies and Procedures Manual, issued May 2017. The reference is KMC/APPM/2017/01, and the author is Crystal Consult, Chartered Secretaries and Financial Consultants, date validated 11 May 2017. Approver, Kanifing Municipal Council, KMC. Status, final version. These documents are admitted into evidence as exhibit, all in a bundle, and they are marked as LGC/KMC/TAB/004.
As the Commission places. Now, just before we proceed on the substantive issues, we just want us to help us with the thresholds, the resolution with respect to the threshold. You have some resolutions you have tendered. Would you guide us through where the thresholds are mentioned so that we mark the resolution numbers for the record? I have asked the witness to guide the commission in relation to the thresholds where they have been mentioned in the minutes he submitted, and that's what he is doing.
For the council, for the general council.
Yes, resolutions, yes.
I believe there are 3 council meetings. I believe there are 3 general council meeting minutes.
Yes, it was in an envelope. I just want to make sure that
Yes.
all are.
Yes, the ones I peruse, I think I may recall that it is 3.
Okay. You can.
Are there 3?
Yes, I think there's four different documents.
Okay.
I'm just trying to arrange them. Okay. Thank you, Lead Counsel. The documents I have tendered, as I said, are partial, and we are working on the rest. But I will start with the KMC Accounting Policies and Procedures Manual of 2017 on page 36. It states the Council's thresholds from 1 to 10,000. Single sourcing is the method. The approver is the CEO. From 10,001 to 500,000, request of 3 and maximum of 5 quotations. The approver is the CEO. From threshold 500,000 and 500,001 to 1 million, the method is tender, restricted / open. The approver is the contracts committee. From above 1 million and below 10 million, tender, restricted / open. The approver is contracts committee and GPPA. GMD 10 million and above, method, international tendering. The method is restricted and open. The approver is the contracts committee and GPPA. So this is the KMC Accounting and Policies Procedures Manual 2017.
All right.
The second document is a General Council Resolution, 31st May 2018. Resolution number 8, that all contract agreements, including MOUs and all forms of engagement and support that may have effect of binding council or creating an obligations or rights connected to the council, and all payments from council accounts or funds be subject to final approval by the mayor. That is the resolution on 31st May 2018. The third document is the Finance Committee meeting minutes of 13th June 2018. The attendees are Karamu Sise as chairman, Basiru Sar as member, Nelly N.S. Taylor as member, Lamin S. Jata as member, Abake Williams as member, Karim Dabo as member, Salam Njai, acting CEO, Sirif Njai, acting director of finance, Usman Gay, clerk of council. on excerpt 2.2 of the minutes, the chairman in his deliberation called on members to look into the staffing matters as well as the threshold of the former CEO, whom he alleged was allowed to spend up to $500,000 with General Counsel approval. On the minutes 2.3, however, the vice chairperson, who's cautioned that they need to look at the Finance and Audit Act for guidance, as their mandate is centered around policy guidelines and not implementation. She opined that they need to first check whether all documents they requested were provided before so that they can begin the assignment. Also of concern by the vice chairperson was their need to be given appointment letters to legalize their membership in the committee. At that juncture, in 2.5, members agreed to take stock of documents so that they can come to a decision, and the documents are 2.6.1, the Interim Management Committee, Interim Management Committee report, 2.6.2, the KMC Strategic Plan 2016 to 2020, 2.6.3, the KMC Finance and Audit Manual, the KMC Internal Audit Manual, the Draft Annual Internal Audit Plan, and the hard copy of the 2018 Draft Budget. The fourth document was 28 June, meeting minutes of the General Counsel, page 2.2. It starts on page 5 of 3.24, which gives the Lord Mayor powers to approve, disapprove memorandums of understanding, contracts, and other binding agreements KMC may enter into in the near future. As per the directives of members in the previous meeting, the Councillor of London Corner Ward asked for further clarification, as he is not sure whether it is the Mayor or the General Counsel that should give approval on such matters. The chairman opined that the resolution was passed at a time standing committees were yet to be formed. As a result, they needed to be informed of all transactions and agreements the Council needed to enter at the time. However, now that the standing committees are in place, such approvals may be recommended through the committees. That is the fourth document. The fifth document, 2nd July. This is a letter by the chairman of the Finance Committee addressed to the Lord Mayor, Kanife Municipal Council. Update and recommendations from the Finance Committee meeting. Following the General Council meetings held on 31st May 2018 and 28 June 2018, the Finance Committee wishes to advise your office regarding the approval thresholds for Council expenditure. The committee has observed that the resolution on 31st May 2018 contradicts the provisions of the KMC Accounting Policy and Procedures Manual, specifically section 6.2.4, which governs Council purchases and expenditures. In this regard, we recommend that the resolution granting the Mayor authority to be part of the approving threshold for Council expenditures be reviewed and aligned with the aforementioned section of the manual. Respectfully submitted, Karamo Sise. So that's why I said it's partial. We are searching for the corresponding General Counsel to this and then the resolution.
All right. Now, let me have those documents back, please. Now, after reading this and then awaiting the remaining documents, how can you best summarize the threshold requirements from 2018 to 2023? Because it seems as if it has changed from time to time, or at least once.
My summary and what happened in KMC was in 2018, the interim left a threshold of 100,000 to the office of the CEO, between 100,000 to 500,000 to the office of the mayor, 500,000 above to the council. When we came in 2018, like I said yesterday, we endorsed that same thresholds. But the minutes and the correspondences I have read is soon after objections were raised by the finance committee and the members of the council, and it was reversed. That is my understanding of those documents.
All right. So we will review these documents and then we will discuss it subsequently.
Thank you.
Now, as far as you are concerned, the reversal, what would it affect? What would be the new position in relation to the threshold based on the reversal?
The reversal since July or August of 2018 is that the council will approve any amount above 500,000 and the CEO will approve any amount below 500,000.
From July, August 2018?
Yeah.
Now, how was council given this approval?
Sorry, say it again?
I said, how was council giving this approval to the CEO?
Which of the approvals?
The approvals that you are referring to in relation to the threshold.
Right.
Yeah, so you said below $500,000 is the CEO, correct?
Yeah.
And then if it goes beyond that amount, then council will have to give its approval.
Yeah.
Now, how is this approval given?
The approval was given through the General Council.
No, what I mean, for instance, if there is a payment
Yeah.
that the CEO wants to authorize,
Yes.
or wants to be authorized, and then it is beyond $500,000.
Yes.
Now, the CEO should get an approval from the General Council.
Yes.
From time to time. If there are 10 payments that are above this amount in a day, it means there should be 10 approvals in the day. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Good. So how does the General Council give its approval?
I understand. Okay, the procedure is that if the CEO wants to make a payment, he has to call a contracts committee meeting,
Right.
which the CEO chairs. In that contracts committee meeting, he will lay his desire to procure an item. If the item is above 500,000 or below 500,000, if he chooses, he can seek the advice of the contracts committee. But in cases where it is above 500,000, he will have to work with the contracts committee to recommend to the general body about what contractor they would like to go with. And then the general body would have the CEO present. Sometimes the general body may ask the CEO to invite the said contractor or the desired contractor to present and be probed by the General Council. And after the General Council's approve, that should be the process, then the CEO can further go to GPPA and seek for the final approval before processing.
Thank you. Is this done in all cases that are above 500,000?
It is done in, I would say, 90% of the cases. There has been cases that have raised alarm at the General Council, where the General Council has cautioned the CEO or warned the CEO or asked the CEO to reverse.
Okay. So will we be able to have, if we ask, the list of approvals that were given from July, August 2018 to 2023? Would that be possible?
It might take a long time, but I can ask the administration to work on it.
Okay, because I think it should be documented, right? Because every approval by General Council will come in the form of a resolution, correct?
Yes, but if I can be just plain, I believe they've told me they've sent all the payment vouchers to the commission. So they tell me.
Yeah, the approvals are in the form of a resolution or vouchers?
The approvals come in recommendations from the contracts committee, and then it should be a resolution from the council.
Okay, good. So it's the resolution that I am referring to, so that the resolutions were passed between July, August 2018 for the threshold to 2023 that are authorizing the CEO to do expenditure above 500,000. We need to have the record.
I can ask the clerk to work on it.
Thank you very much. Now, this will take us to another discussion, because there's an approval for that is outlined in the contracts, in the GPPA Act and regulations. I know several witnesses, when we say threshold, they take it to be procurement process. It's all part of it. But if you look at the financial manual, it talks about approval when it comes to withdrawal of monies from the accounts, right? And then the approval for the contract is strictly governed by procurement process. But to withdraw money from the account by the financial manual, I believe it has, that is the threshold that the manual is trying to address. I'm not sure whether we are on the same page. If you look at the 305 of the manual on page 29, it says, for instance, the finance director shall not make any payment, nor accept any charge. So, in his accounts. So this strictly in relation to making payments, that is withdrawal of monies, that the council not only should be aware that a contract is approved, but that the monies that are withdrawn as well, they are also aware, because sometimes a contract can be approved, but maybe there are no finances to conduct that procurement. Do you understand that?
I don't understand the question.
The two are different. So that the approval when it comes to the functions of the contracts committee is just strictly in relation to the procurement methods. So that the financial manual only deals with approvals for withdrawals and payments into the account. So I am saying that, do you understand it that way? Do you agree that the manual talks about approval in a different sense from the GPPA Act and regulation? The manual talks about payments directly made into the accounts of council and withdrawals that were made, whereas the GPPA regulation talks about approval in relation to contracts that are awarded. Do you see the distinction?
Council, can you rephrase the question? Can you modify the question so that the witness can understand?
Okay, let me ask a more direct question. Is the approval that is stated in the GPPA Act the same as the approval in the financial manual?
I have to look at the GPPA Act.
GPPA Act, okay. Now, the functions of the Contracts Committee that is stated in the Gambia Public Procurement Act 2022 reads page 85. The functions of the Contracts Committee shall include the verification of proper procurement planning and availability of funds, approval of the invitation to bid and the bidding documents, approval of the usage of single source procurement in accordance with regulations, D, the opening of bids, E, comparing and evaluating the bids and selecting the winning bid subject to subsection 1F, F, submitting the recommendations resulting from the evaluations of bids to the accounting officer of the procurement organization concerned or other official designated in the regulations, in case the value of the procurement exceeds the authority of the Contracts Committee. G, ensure that the stores and equipments are disposed of in compliance with this Act, so that when it is talking about the different methods of procurement, now this is slightly different from the financial manual. The financial manual, it is talking about council knowing exactly as at the time monies are withdrawn or paid into the accounts of council. Do you see that?
I still don't catch the question.
Do you see a difference in relation to the approval that is stated in the GPPA Act 2022 and the approval that is stated in the financial manual?
I don't at face value, no.
You don't at face value. All right. Do you have legal advice in relation to the different types of approvals that are stated in the financial manual and the GPPA Act?
This is the first time anybody has ever raised that.
All right. You agree that when it comes to strictly the accounts of council, they are governed by the Finance and Audit Act, and when it comes to procurement, strictly they are governed by the GPPA Act and regulations, correct?
No, I think when it comes to procurement, it's still governed by the Finance and Audit Act as well.
Okay, so the document that you refer to when it comes to the different types of procurement would be, and how to go about procurement would be the GPPA regulations and the Act?
I believe both.
Both, all right. Now, let me show you Bine Maron. You recall Bine Maron?
Yes.
Bine Maron is a councillor?
Women's councillor.
Women's councillor, correct. I have vouchers here that has to do with payments in relation to Bine Maron. Please have a look at it. Do you recall that at some point payments were made to Bine Maron?
Can I examine the document?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Good. What is that payment about?
The British High Commissioner donated solar power plant at the Serakunda market.
Yeah. Okay. And why was the payment made to Bine Maron?
I don't see where Bine Maron is paid. I just see it's a request from Bine Maron requesting payment for the construction of the solar power plant donated by the British High Commission.
Okay. Did you mean it on the document?
Yes. Bine requested that we support her to do this project or we lose the money.
Or we lose the money?
Yeah.
And what did you mean it, the document?
Pardon?
What did you write on the document?
This amount is 615,800, and I said, Bine asked for my support, and I said, CEO, please process this refund and ensure payment from High Commission is made after the fact.
All right. And what does this mean?
In what sense?
As in what you were instructing the CEO to do.
I did not instruct the CEO.
Okay, what you were asking the CEO to do.
CEO.
Yes.
So basically, like I said, Bine had a grant from the British High Commissioner of 615,000 to build a cold storage. So she came and said she would lose the grant if the council did not support. So basically, I supported her request.
What kind of support is that? Was council paying Bine for?
To ensure the implementation of the project.
Was
so
the
that's why I added Please ensure we receive refund from the High Commissioner.
Okay. Was the grant paid to Binet before the endorsement for this payment to Binet, or was the grant received after the payment made to Binet?
Was the grant
received as at the time Binet wrote this letter?
It suggests that the grant was not received. It suggests that we were trying to pre-finance the project.
Okay. Did you see any document in relation to the grant that would suggest or strongly give the position that a grant was endorsed by the British Embassy?
I was aware because I spoke to the British Embassy personally.
Do you have any document in relation to that?
The documents should be with the administration if they exist.
No. Do they exist?
They should exist.
Did you see a document of that nature?
I should have.
You should have, but you can't recall.
Like I said, these are records we have to look into. There's many records of council.
Okay. Is that document attached to that voucher?
Not that I see, no.
Okay. So the payments, would it not be proper that vouchers, because before approval, there should be all supporting documents.
Absolutely. It's
yes.
an administrative issue, yeah.
Yes. And so that if it is not attached to the voucher, then the payment would not be proper. You agree with that?
All supporting documents for every voucher should be there, and if it's not there, that is a maladministration.
There's maladministration. Okay. And then that is what we have here. We have interviewed Binet, and we do not see evidence of that. Then that will suggest that the approval should not have been given without evidence of that supporting document.
I do not approve.
Now, did the council approve this?
I don't remember. I should look into it.
What is the date of this document?
This date is 2020, July.
It would have been the requirement that council should approve this particular payment, correct?
The CEO should take it to the contracts committee. Yes.
I agree. The council should, going by you have already guided the commission in relation to the...
Yes, the CEO should take it to the contracts committee. The contracts committee should bring it to the council. Yeah.
Right. So, and unless and until the council approves, payment should not be done?
Yes.
Okay. And then we do not know whether council approves this payment or not?
We have to find out.
All right. So, how long do we have to wait for that?
Well, I have to go back and ask for it. I'm actively finding all the documents the commission is looking for, but we close 4:30 and we start very early, so it's difficult.
Right.
But hopefully, I don't know when we will end, either Thursday or Friday, I'll go to the office and ensure we get all the documents.
Yes.
Mayor Bensouda, we will give you ample opportunity to be able to put together the documents.
Thank you.
Don't worry about time. Thank you.
May I please see that voucher, please? Did Binet retire this?
All of those things, like I said, we have to find out.
We'll find out. Now, we have invoices that are attached, one invoice that is attached on to this voucher.
Yes.
Just one invoice, correct?
That's an invoice, yeah.
Yes. Where is the invoice from?
It says communications and electrical services.
Now, the requirement is, to start with, there should be a minimum of 3 invoices. Are you aware of this?
Yes, the CEO should make sure there's, like I said, he should take it to the contracts committee.
Are you aware that the requirement for such procurement is that there is a minimum of 3 invoices?
Yes, I am aware.
Good. And in the absence of that, it will make that transaction unlawful?
Yes, it's not going by process.
Then it's unlawful.
Well, as per the, it's not going by the right processes.
And then to say it's unlawful will not be correct?
Well, like I said, I have to refer to the GPPA Act, but it would suggest so.
Okay. Now, request for quotations. A request for quotations. requires that there's a minimum of 3 quotations.
Right.
Yes, so that if it is against the GPPA regulations or act, that would not be right. That would be very unlawful, contrary to the GPPA Act, correct?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes,
now,
yes.
that's one. The second issue is that should BNet engage in procurement?
BNet can find supporting invoices if she wishes, but the CEO should be the one engaging in procurement.
Okay. So for BNet to engage in procurement, that will also be unlawful?
She should not engage in procurement.
If she engages in procurement, would that be lawful or unlawful?
As a councillor, no, she should not engage in procurement.
In procurement.
It will be unlawful. Yeah.
It will be unlawful, good. Now, did you know that BNet had engaged in procurement?
No.
Did you find out?
Well, I was hoping the CEO would do his job.
Did the council find out? Because the threshold is beyond the CEO now. So for the council to approve, will you agree with me, Kazu would have looked at all documents, correct?
So in 2020,
Right.
That was before we incorporated grants in council income.
Right.
When we receive grants, we assume at the time this is outside money. That's why I said, you asked in our financial statements, why wasn't grants included?
Right.
I said this was later incorporated when I brought it up in council in 2021, I believe, and 2022. But when this grant came, we looked at it as it was just a gift from the embassy. But like you rightly said, when these matters go to the desk of the CEO, he should take it to the appropriate procurement, and that is through the contracts committee.
Thank you. But why is it that it takes the council about 2 to 3 years to know that grants are part of revenue of council? Why was that the case?
Well, we learn on the job.
Okay, so the fact that you did not classify grants as part of revenue of the case is wrong?
Well, I believe at the time, we thought we were right. That's why we rely on the administrators,
yes,
who should know how these finances are actually registered in the financial statements.
Okay, so at the time, but now you know it was wrong.
Yes, it was brought to my attention, I believe, in 2020. So I believe starting 2021, if you start looking at our financial statements to 2022, we started correcting that.
Okay. Now, before 2020, the relevant regulations and laws that are applicable to council, the council have time to review them and acquaint itself with the regulations, like the Financial Manual, the Finance and Audit Act, and the Local Government Act?
Yes, the acts, all councillors and the mayor, we've read it before we became mayors. On councillors, we try to abreast ourselves with the act. But with the policies, it's usually at the committee levels and at the administration level. The committee level and at the administration level.
Okay, so the Local Government Finance and Audit Act, because if the council has the overriding authority to either approve or disapprove a request coming from the CEO or even the mayor, but let's say the CEO, should the council, as a general body, not be very familiar with what it is going to factor in relation to requests that are made, so as to be able to be in the position to either reject or approve?
So the council as a body relies heavily on its committees, who we vest that role, because we have incorporated experts in those committees.
Right.
If you look at our first general council, we passed a resolution where we said every committee must have 3 councillors,
right,
and 3 subject matter specialists,
right,
with the understanding that councillors are elected and come with different education levels.
Okay. So the committees failed in advising council in relation to the fact that project funds, donations, and grants are also part of the revenue of council?
At the time where we were putting it without it, yes, and I would say the ministry as well, because we do send our budgets to the ministry and they do approve.
I agree. entirely. If the ministry has a responsibility to do something and they do not do, if the responsibility is expressed, they will also be responsible. Right. So that when the committees of council, which are creatures of council, if they fail, then it means also council has failed to do its job, correct?
I don't call it failure, I say it's lapses. This is a normal process in administration where there's lapses, and that's why there's checks and balances.
Yes.
The committees should be the first to safeguard the council and
right.
advise.
Right.
Then we would rely on external bodies,
right.
such as the National Audit Office,
right.
the Ministry, GPPA, and if that fails, then it has to go to the Parliament. If everybody fails, then it's a total system failure.
True, but then it starts with the council itself, correct?
Yes, but the council relies on partners.
Yes, so that what I meant earlier is that if the law exists that you are to do X, Y, and Z, it is a convincing argument for anyone to say that we were learning on the job. That's a genuine answer. And for the most part, people will understand what I mean. Anybody listening, like a commissioner, so they may understand that to a certain degree it is okay to learn on the job. And then, but that in itself would also come with the idea that, of course, there is a failure, because if there are violations, you'll agree, it's because there are failures.
I wouldn't use the word failure.
So is it a violation of the act?
Yes, but it's a lapse in administration or lapse in oversight.
So is that a violation? Did the lapse amount to a violation?
Yes.
All right. Thanks. Now, the Maron said that, like you said, this was pre-financed. Is there a procedure for pre-financing in council? Any guideline either in the financial manual or in the policies of council regarding pre-financing that regulates pre-financing?
I would have to check that.
You'll have to check. All right, no problem. Then we'll come back to the issue of Binet Maron when you're done. Now I have another set of vouchers here. Kemo Bojang. You know Mr. Kemo Bojang?
Yeah.
All right. Who is Mr. Kemo Bojang?
He's the youth councillor.
All right. Now, Mr. Kemo Bojang also testified here. I have vouchers from Mr. Kemo Bojang that I want you to see. The first is the voucher dated with the number PV202018. The exhibit number LGC/KB in bracket 1/KMC/004.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you recognize that voucher?
I recognize the voucher.
What is that voucher about?
The voucher is from the youth sports culture it's expense from the youth sports and culture expense of 26,500, being council support for training for the youth and support for political participation as per letterhead.
All right.
It states Youth Councillor to Lord Mayor, 28 December 2020, training for youth and support for political participation. I write to ask for support in training young people in politics. KMC being a hotbed for political violence and intolerance, I seek to train 150 young people for 3 days on good governance and effective and positive political participation. We plan on having resource persons from Westminster Foundation to train these young people on effective communication, leadership, and teamwork. The youth office seeks the sum of 26,500 from your office, 150 packs of food daily at the price of $50 each for 3 days equaling 22,500, water totaling $1,000 and 3 resource persons at 1,000, counting on your usual cooperation and approval. And I write to the CEO and said, this request from the council is approved.
Why did you approve that request?
All requests from councillors are to be directed at the mayor's office and are to be approved by the mayor's office before the CEO can go on to authorize.
And that include payments?
It includes any request from the councillors.
Okay. So now payments from, request of payments from councillors are approved by the mayor?
Any councillor who has a request for an activity, for an event, or something they want to do, I will assess using my judgment. I will approve before the CEO can go about to authorize or not. It's up to the CEO at the end of the day.
No. If you approve, it means you've approved payment.
No.
What did you approve?
I have approved the request of the activity.
What is the request?
The request is he wants to train youths.
No, the request is he wants payment.
No, he wants to train youths.
Okay. Can I read it, please?
Yes,
so that we may have different understanding. It says, I write to ask for support. Financial support is what Mr. Bojang is asking. I write to ask for support in training youths. The support, the money he's asking for, is to train youths. Is that correct?
Yes, it's part of the support.
So were you approving that he train the youths, or were you approving that he be given the money to train the youths?
I am approving the activity. I cannot authorize money. That's the CEO.
No, that's not my question. So I asked a question with two limbs, and I would be grateful if you choose one of the limbs or even disagree with any of them.
I approve the activity.
Okay, let me just ask it again, please. Now, did you approve that Mr. Bojang be paid money to train the youths, or did you approve that Mr. Bojang can go ahead and train the youths? Period.
Lead council, there's a general council resolution.
Right.
What was happening was all the councillors were going to the CEO.
Right.
To ask for different activities and payments.
Right.
I saw that that is a problem because
right.
the CEOs would come and complain that the councillors would use their office, the office of the councillor, to put pressure on the CEOs. And that may force them to make payments that they should not be making.
Yeah.
So we came to the council. I asked all councillors that the best practice is that all councillors first should come to the mayor so I can assess the merits of the activity they want to do. When I say I am approving this activity, the CEO can go about and then authorize the payment or not. There are instances where councillors want to do a training, councillors want to do a tour. They will put, let's say, $1,000 to be paid to each member for 10 days of that tour. I will say, I approve the activity. It goes to the CEO and he rejects the amounts. So what we were trying to do is good governance. Eventually, what we did, we said, look, we cannot, because councillors were complaining that they are at the forefront of the communities. Every day, people come to their houses asking for different community supports. So we said, why don't we create what we call a WDC fund? That was pioneered at KMC. In that way, if we have this fund, councillors and their WDC can do community activities without burdening the council, and it will be in a controlled manner and fashion. So that's why I said all these requests for good governance were coming to the office of the mayor for my perusal and endorsement. And that is for the councillors. That's why any councillor who has an activity, they will ask me for approval of the activity before the CEO can go about and authorize a payment or not. That is the premise of these documents.
Thank you very much for that explanation. I think it is helpful. But I want to go back to my question. When you approved this request, and I will read the request, it says, Lord Mayor, I write to ask for support in training youth people in politics. And he went on to table out how much he needs. The youth office seeks the sum of $26,500 is from your office. And you said approved. Now I ask, were you approving that Mr. Bojang can go ahead and do the activity he wants to do? Or were you approving that money be paid to Mr. Bojang for the activity?
So two things I do. I look at the activity. Sometimes I look at I look at the activity, I look at the amount. I approve the activity. If I have issues with the amount, I will advise the CEO and say, I don't think this amount should be paid, I think it should be reduced. But the authority and decision about whether to go ahead with paying the activity or not rests and is vested in the CEO. But like I said, the council, we agreed that now all requests, I can find you the resolution, all requests coming from the councillors must be channeled to the mayor's office for approval before transmitted to the administration for authorization or not.
I will support that resolution. I think if it is passed, it probably would be in line. You have explained that the pressure that may be put on the CEO or any CEO with respect to the authority of councillors. But that is not what I have asked you. What I have asked is that when you approved, when KEMO request for funds and said that the youth office seeks the sum of $26,500 for the activity, and you said CEO approved, were you approving that he can go ahead with the activity, or were you approving that money be paid to him for the activity?
So I cannot approve finances. I think that is very clear in the law. When I approve, I am approving the subject matter, which is the activity he wants to do. The money he's asking, I look at it. If the money is excessive, I will add my advice to the CEO, and I have in various occasions. If I don't see any issue with the money, I just say I approve the activity. The CEO now decides whether to authorize the activity or not. I'll give you many, especially with this CEO we have now. He rejects many approved requests from the mayor's office, and he'll come back and say, Mayor, we cannot authorize this payment for so and so reason. That's why I am telling you, I am approving the subject matter, which is the activity.
Okay. Would you want to answer my question?
I am answering your question.
No, just hear me out. I just want to give you the opportunity to answer my question, because I believe what I have asked is very clear. And it is just simple to say that I am not approving the payment, I am approving the activity, I did not approve the payment. And then we take it up from there. But if I ask you the question and you give me an example, which is good, and the background, which I appreciate the first time, but if you keep on repeating it, and I have no choice but to repeat my question, because I have felt that you haven't given me a definitive answer. And so the definitive answer, be it in the affirmative or in the negative, is okay with me. I will just ask another question. But my question, for the last time maybe I will ask it, is when you approved the request for payment for Mr. Kemo Bojang's activity, were you approving Mr. Kemo Bojang's request for the finance, or were you not approving the payment for the finance?
I don't deal with finances, so my answer is I'm approving the activity.
Good. And not the finance?
No.
Good. As mayor, do councillors need to ask you for approval if they have an activity?
As per our resolution and agreement at the council, yes.
That every councillor that has an activity that cannot, or that they are not going to attract financial obligations of council, they still need to get your permission?
No, it's activities that they want to do that will require resources of the council.
Financial resources, right? Good. So if the activities do not require the financial resources from council, then they don't need your approval?
Not just the financial resources, human resources.
Yes. Any other resources that the council will have to give. Yeah. Then there, of course, will need to be approval from either the mayor or the council, or as the case may be, as the policy you may have may be, or the laws. If it does not attract any form of resources from council, do they need your approval?
No, they don't.
They don't. Now, in this case, did it require any resources from council?
Yes, but my part is not to determine what resource. My part is the activity. The CEO determines the resource.
No, that's not the question. At this request, does it require council's resources?
Council, I don't know how to put this to you. Like I said before, the councillors were going directly to the CEO. The CEOs become overwhelmed because the councillor's office is superior to the office of the CEO. If you have 20 plus councillors coming and pressuring you to make payments, the CEOs make blunders. In protection of the CEOs, I suggested to the General Council for order and good governance, any activity that requires personnel of the council, that requires money of the council, that requires anything of the council, should first come to the mayor's office for perusal and endorsement. I look at the merits of the activity. The CEO looks at the merits of the financial request. It is very clear, and this is our debate from day one. It is set in law. The CEO and the mayor both are housed in the council, but with two separate roles. But we do try and support each other.
You know, I have reminded you that we are not having a debate. I have reminded you that we are doing an interrogation. An interrogation and a debate is different. So what happened here is I ask questions and the Lord Mayor answers questions. That's all that happens here. And so the role of the lead counsel is defined, the role of the witness is defined. And so just assist me and the commission so that when I ask the question that requires definitive answers, you just answer them and we move on.
I believe I'm answering, maybe not the way you
Right.
like me to
Thank
answer.
you very much.
And
now,
if I can just come in, because yesterday you used the word interrogation, and I decided to search it because I believe interrogation is for criminals. I believe we are in a fact-finding mission, and I'm trying to give you facts as much as possible to help the commission. So I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, but I stand to be corrected.
Now, Mr. Bensouda, do you, in this, the question that I asked you earlier, I will go back to it. Did the support that Mr. Bojang requested, did it require council's resources, as you have stated, or not?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good. And so that if it requires council's resources, what kind of resources did it require?
Financial resources.
Financial resources. So that when you said that if the request requires council's resources, then you have to approve. You said that?
No, if it requires any of council's resources, sometimes it's a minibus, sometimes it's municipal police, sometimes they require council spaces, such as our town hall, such as our library. So anything that the taxpayer owns or it belongs to the taxpayer, yes.
If it requires any council's resources, then the mayor approves, correct?
Yes.
Good. And in this case, it requires the financial resources. That is why you approve.
The activity.
Requires financial resources.
Endorse that the activity is valid and important.
And requires financial resources, correct?
Which need to be determined by the CEO.
Did it require financial resources?
It did. It's in the letter.
Thank you. Simple. Now, hold back this document, the voucher. Are there any supporting documents that are attached to this voucher?
I don't see any supporting documents.
Were you presented with any supporting documents by Mr. Bojan?
Vouchers don't come to my office.
You minuted on that document, correct?
Supporting the activity.
No, Mr. Bensouda, you said that vouchers don't come to your office.
Memos come to my office.
Yes. You minuted on that memo, correct?
Yes.
Good. Now, when you minuted on that memo, did Mr. Bojang present to you any document to support his assertion that he is embarking on an activity?
Youth Council. The councillor requests an activity.
Please answer the
to
question.
train youths. I'm answering the question in the manner which I believe is truthful and full.
Right.
The councillor requests an activity to train youths.
Right.
He is required by council resolution to come to the mayor for support of the activity before it is authorized by the CEO or it is not authorized by the CEO.
Right.
This is a standard in KMC. What we don't want, I am the political head of KMC. I am a politician. I don't want a politician to use power over an administrator. So I will look at the validity of the activity. The CEO is to go and source for supporting documents, do the procurement, because he signs the checks at the banks. I don't sign the checks at the banks. Vouchers do not come to my office. They are developed at the finance department, where they will get their invoices and do the processes as required by law.
Okay, but yet it does not answer my question. Did Mr. Bojang present to you any document that would support his assertion with respect to the activity?
He's not required to provide the mayor any supporting documents. That is for the office of the administrator, which is the CEO. That's
still not my question. My question is, were you given any document by the councillor? Is there? Yes, I was given a document.
I believe I answered
allow me. Would you realize that when you speak, I don't speak? Okay, so that you accord me the same respect as well. Thank you. So the answer, the question I have, which I will repeat, is when Mr. Bojang put up that request to you, did Mr. Bojang provide you with any document to support his assertion?
No.
Good, thank you. Now, when you approved it, on what basis were you approving it?
The activity.
The activity. And activity, you do not see a document about to suggest whether it will even take place?
That is the role of the administration.
Okay. And should the administration find out a document like that exists?
That is the role of internal audit, the administration, and the committees involved.
So should they find out before they approve payment?
Yes.
Okay. In the event they do not find out, would that be maladministration in your words?
Yes, that would be illegal, and the money should be returned.
Returned. Thank you very much. May I have the document? I have another document from Mr. Bojang. It is the voucher number 211194. Is the same exhibit number, LGC/KB/G/1/KMC/004. It is payment as council support to the youth of Bruford for their football final to be held on Saturday, the 29th May of 2021, as per request attached. The request reads, Lord Mayor, I write to humbly ask for support for the youth of their upcoming football final to be held on Saturday, 29th of May 2021. As Ambassador of Youth Participation in Sports, I appeal to your humble office to donate an amount of 10,000 to the youth of Bruford. You recognize that voucher?
Yeah.
Good. Now, you approved that voucher?
Yeah. Right. Not the voucher,
the request, yeah, sorry. Now, when you approved, were you approving payment or you approving the activity?
The activity.
The activity, good. Was the resource of council needed in this?
Yes.
What kind of resources?
Money.
Please speak into the microphone and increase your voice.
Financial
Money.
Resources.
How much?
10,000.
That is why you had to approve?
Yeah, because it's requiring council support. Yeah.
Council's funds, good. Now, what was the money for?
He was serving as an ambassador of the youth, and he was going to show support.
Why do you use the word ambassador?
He used the word here. As an ambassador of youth participation in sports,
right.
I appeal to your humble office to donate an amount of 10,000 to the youths.
Okay. Was that money donated? Do you know?
I don't know.
You do not know. Did the council follow up?
The KMC as a council?
Yes.
This is too little for the council to follow.
No, do not say 10,000 is too little for the council. When I say the council, is it a KMC as general body in making sure they review the accounts or the structures you have?
The structure should review the accounts.
Yes.
Because the structure should see every transaction in the council.
Was that retired?
I wouldn't know.
You would not know. Would the council be interested in knowing that these monies are retired?
Yes, through our audit reports and national audit reports.
National audit reports. Good. So if these monies are not retired, should they be paid back?
They should be paid back, and if taken, it's an illegal.
Okay. May I please have it back? We have also the voucher number PV 201620. Mr. Bojang requested for council support for cost of mask to be donated to the disabled and hard of hearing as per letter attached. $15,000 is the request for face mask support. It reads, I write this letter in the request of support for disabled and hard hearing young people at the St. John School for the Deaf, which I plan to do in collaboration with disabled counselor in the form of transparent face masks to help them communicate and function better in these times of COVID-19. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to communication, nor is there a typical deaf person. Each individual is unique and brings their own set of communication needs and preferences based on the setting and the purpose of the interaction. Determining how to communicate effectively is a joint effort shared by both the deaf individual and the hearing individual. In this project, we plan on supporting the Girls' Pride organization who have invented these masks as it has gone through the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority. They are sold at $150 each, and we plan on supporting them with 100 masks. Please go through the request and advise us whether you're familiar with that document.
Request for face mask support, addressed to the Office of the Mayor, 25th October 2020, Kanifing Municipal Council, from the Youth Councillor Kemo Bojang. Dear Sir, I write this letter in the request of support for disabled and hard of hearing young people at the St. John's School for the Deaf, which I plan to do in collaboration with the disabled councillor in the form of transparent face mask to help them communicate and function better in these times of COVID-19. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to communication, nor is there a typical deaf person, quote unquote. Each individual is unique and brings their own set of communication needs and preferences. Based on the setting and the purpose of the interaction, determining how to communicate effectively is a joint effort shared by both the deaf individuals and the hearing individuals. In this project, we plan on supporting the Girls' Pride organization who have invented these masks, and it has gone through the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority. They are sold at $150 each, and we plan on supporting them with 100 face masks. I minute to the CEO, please provide face masks from the youth budget ASAP. The Director of Finance says, approved to be paid from the disability budget. The account says, please process 15,000.
Good. So you had told the CEO to provide the face masks as soon as possible?
Yes, from the youth budget.
Good. Now, Mr. As soon as possible here will suggest what?
Emergency, because it's COVID-19.
So it has to be provided.
It's dealing with life and death. So it has to be fast-tracked.
Fast-tracked. So that is a directive?
It's not a directive. It is, like I said,
advice?
It's a request that from the youth
Right.
that I approve.
Right. Now from you to the CEO, telling the CEO to pay.
I said, please provide.
Please allow me to finish.
Yeah. It's
Right.
a request.
Okay. Please provide as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The emphasis as soon as possible still makes it a request?
Yes. I said, please provide as soon as possible.
As soon as possible suggests that these face masks should be provided as soon as possible.
Yes.
Good. So it's not a request.
It's a request.
No problem. Now, the face masks, how much did KMO Bojang say that they cost?
According to his memo, KMO Bojang says 150.
Is that true? Was it correct?
I don't know the price of face mask.
Did you ask?
It is not my job to ask.
Did you verify?
It is not my job to verify.
Whose job is to verify?
The internal audit unit, the administration, the contracts committee.
Okay. Did they verify?
I wouldn't know.
Should they verify?
They should.
If they do not verify, would that payment be unlawful?
No, it's a lapse.
It's a lapse. And if the lapse exists, will that not contravene the law?
It's an administrative lapse. Administrative lapses, I don't believe, necessarily contravene the law.
So,
I think the bodies that are responsible for point out those lapses should point out those lapses.
Yes, and if they don't point out the lapses, they are not doing their job right.
Yes, they are not doing their job
And if
right.
they are not doing their job right, they are not doing their job in accordance with regulation.
Regulation is not law.
We would
It's
not
a
get.
guide- it's a guideline.
We would not get. I had read to you section 7. Let me read to you again, please. Get me section 7 of the Constitution. Maybe I had just read it just one more time for the entire questioning and answers we are going to do. Section 7 of the Constitution reads, in addition to this Constitution, the laws of the Gambia consist of the following. A, acts of the National Assembly made under this Constitution and subsidiary legislation made under such acts. B, any orders, rules, regulations, or other subsidiary legislation made by a person or authority under a power conferred by this Constitution or any other law. I will stop there. Do you want to change your position that regulations are not laws?
Well, if the Constitution says they are laws, but from our understanding, policies are guidelines, regulations are guidelines.
Do you now change your position? You have always firmly believed in the Constitution, Mr. Bensouda. Now, more than ever.
Yes, if it says so in the Constitution, I would have to agree with you.
So you were wrong.
Yes, if it says so in the Constitution.
Thank you. Now, the document that KMO has, let me just have it, please. Now, Mr. Bojang was paid this amount. Should this not pass through procurement process?
It should pass through procurement.
Do you know whether it has passed through procurement process?
I don't have that information.
If they did not pass this through procurement process, would that not be wrong?
It's wrong.
And it's unlawful?
It's unlawful. Thank you.
And Mr. Bojang should return this money. Was this retired? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Should there be retirement?
If yes, if there's a balance, there should be retirement with the receipts and the amount that is not spent.
And if there is no retirement as well, that will contravene the retirement clauses in the regulation.
Yeah.
Good. I have been signaled, Honorable Chairperson, that it is time.